Hi guys, welcome back for a new game in our Burnout campaign. The aim of this video today is to show you that in Burnout you can also play multiplayer games. And this is one of our favorite games in Eden, is that you can be 4 around the table, you can be 2, 3 or 4 around the table, sometimes 5, and you can play multiplayer. There are very few war games with miniatures where you can play at four people around the table, so that's really cool, and this is what we will explain you today. We've been playing several games since the last video, so some of our characters gained experience, some of them died. That's life after the apocalypse. So yes, let's begin this game. Go! So 4 players around the table today. We have Angel playing his Nephilim warband, the Nasty Aliens. And we also have Neo playing the Ugly Khan, the Mutants of Eden. Today's special guest with Julie. She will join the multiplayer game for a first fight with a massive warband of jokers. And then I will play the Dante's Angels. And today we will play scenario 4, which is the flooding. For some unknown reasons, the water is going up, and with the water comes a lot of nasty animals like alligators, and they just want to bite you and have lunch with your body. To survive this flooding, the survivors will have to gather at the center of the table, which means there should be a lot of fights. We have the usual 4 crates on the table that you can search during the game. During the intendancy phase of turn 4, all the survivors that will not be inside this square will get 2 wounds in the legs. As every turn, the water will go up, so there's the flooding all around the table. In the intendancy phase of turn 5, the warriors that are not within this small square at the center of the table will get 2 wounds in their legs and in their body, in the torso. Wow, it means that after turn 4, it should be a fucking mess in the center of this table. At the end of the game, every value point that you get in this square will be a victory point. And then we picked a secondary objective for these games. Mine was killing the boss, the leader of an opponent's warband. Julie's secondary objective is to protect one of the members of a warband. She decided before the game who she has to save for this game. The Nephilim player's secondary objective is to kill whatever is on this table, and he decides to keep that challenge. And then to score extra victory points, the Khan player will have to kill the biggest guy on this table, which is Argamon, the Nephilim war boss. As I mentioned, one of our favorite things with Eden that also works with Burnout is multiplayer games. There are very few war games where you can play 4 or 5 people around the table, and this is a lot of fun and still being played within 2 hours. Keep in mind that if you play 1 versus 1, this is a 45 to 1 hour game, and then if you are 4 or more around the table, then this should be a 2-hour game. Multiplayer game can be a free fight where every player will try to survive and win the battle. Multiplayer can also be cooperation between 2 fighters, so in this case this would be 2 versus 2 players, which is also a lot of fun. For today's fight, this will be a 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1, kill them all. So most of the scenarios that you will find in the Burnout book, you can play them 1 versus 1, but you can also play multiplayer, which is super interesting. The 2 first scenarios we played in this campaign were pretty tactical, but this one is pure violence, as everybody has to gather at the center of the table. There should be a lot of fights and a lot of dead warriors at the end of the game. So all the special rules we mentioned during the previous videos that are specific to Burnout also work in this multiplayer game. If you don't have the same value point as your opponent, you will get extra stuff. items, extra warriors, etc. You can also gain victory points from and experience point from these games. So for this battle report, we won't show you the full game, otherwise it would be 2 hours and a bit long for just the explanation of the multiplayer game, but we will give you an update at the end of every turn so that you can see the action and learn from this multiplayer game. At the end of turn 1, all the factions are moving to the center of the tables. You can see the Nephilims are being trapped between the mutants and the angel. The jokers are also moving. We are the first dead. It's Grusha. She was killed by Ikat from my Dante's Angels. I love this girl with her crossbow. She's a sniper, and whenever she hits the head, she doubles the damage. The end of turn 2, a bit of violence again, where Furfur charged Elenia and he killed her. So Elenia is out, but then Gregory managed to kill Furfur. Then Ikat managed to damage Gregory with a crossbow shot. And then we have a big fight here. The Khans and the Angels are on the Nephilims. Usila was killed by Zagan and Master Igfaris was killed by Suk. Hey, what you can see is that during a multiplayer game, sometimes fighters can ally to kill an opponent, but these alliances do not last very long as usual. And as in the end, there will be only one winner. Turn 3 was a bloodbath, as all the Nephilims are now dead. Some Khans were also killed during this action, during this turn, as Kushi and Odval are not on the table anymore, dead, missing in action. My Dante Angels are doing quite some work here, quite efficient. They are cleaning the table and moving to the center now. Some dead jokers too, but Gregory is still alive and searching a crate. At the end of turn 4, there are very few warriors left on this gaming table. Some dead mutants, only Suk is still alive. Alaga has been killed on this turn. Suk managed to kill Runway from the Dante's Angels too. The warriors are trying to get into the center of the table as at the end of turn 4, the water is going up. Gregory from the Joker's leader, was also killed by Moloch with his flamer. Turn 5, end of the game, end of the battle. We only have Dante's Angels in the center of the table, trying to escape the flooding. We can now confirm that this scenario is super violent. It will cost a lot of caps to our players to heal their incapacitated warriors. So Dante's Angels win this game with 135 points. Second position, Jokers with 55 points. Then we have the Nephilims with 15 points. And last, the Mutants with 10 points. Here we are, friends. This was our third battle report in this Burnout campaign. A multiplayer game that was super fun and also super violent. So now you only have 2 weeks left to support this Burnout project on Kickstarter and join us in the apocalypse.